This was a 29-year-old man who was staying alone in a hotel room, Hong Kong, during summer of 2013. He had ruined all his life, his residence, his workplace, his country. All that he ever knew lost. And he did it willingly. His name was Edward Snowden, and he had in his laptop the deadliest of all secrets. Still, it is not actually about Edward Snowden. It is a myth of an extremely ancient nature, much more fundamental. It is shocking at a game that has been gambling under the carpet in the centuries. The secret-keeping game and such as dared to tell them. The largest intelligence agency on Earth is the National Security Agency, or the NSA. Their budget is classified. They are classified in terms of their operations. The failures that they have are also classified. They have mathematicians, linguists, hackers, the best of the best, and tell none, know it all on their job. Decades later, they have been an untouchable, invisible, to do a job where it was highly confidential that even raising a question about the same would seem dangerous. And then came Edward. He wasn't a spy. He wasn't a hacker, not really. He was a manager of systems. He is the one who keeps servers running, the one who can open anything because somebody has to. And what he had peeped, as he sat behind these screens, changed him. He observed that NSA was not just spy on the terrorists. They were watching everyone. Your emails, your phone calls, your search history, all you left behind in your computer tunes. They called it metadata. Harmless, they said. Just numbers and timestamps. But metadata tells a story. It informs them who you are communicating to, when you are communicating, where you are and what you are doing. It is your whole life map, and they had the map of everybody. Edward attempted to find problems in the company. He did it in the right outlets, as he says. But nothing changed. And so he made a choice. Whose shall I say thou shalt of us demand that a resolution arrived at should be a hero or a traitor? He started copying files, thousands of them, documentary sources which indicated the level of surveillance machine. The PRISM and XKeyscore policies. The systems were able to infiltrate the Google, Facebook servers, and the Apple. The regimes that were built on the advancement of transforming your cell phone into an ear machine without your approval. And then he ran, first to Hong Kong and yet to Russia, where he lingers. He provided the journalists with documents such as these. Examples of such people are Glenn Greenwald and Laura Poitras. And as they broke the story, the world stood still. And then suddenly it was the invisible visibly. The untouchable was touched. NSA described it as a disaster of a hack. He was dealt with as a criminal to the politicians. However, the millions of the entire world approached him in another way, as a whistleblower, a man who lost all to have his say. And this is what I despise in this story. It was not due to some advanced hack or high-tech device that Edward Snowden was able to beat the NSA. Ethical courage was much less tedious and convoluted, and he conducted them like puppets. He was ready to give all this. And that is why he managed to avoid the finest surveillance devices that have ever been observed in human history. And that is what they themselves most probably do not want to know. Even their technology, all their power, all their secrets, it only functions in case we are too anxious to ask. Nowadays, Edward Snowden is a refugee. He is not able to go home, and he still needs decades in prison. He got married to the longtime girlfriend in Russia. He became a father there too. The cost of switching on the lights, a dark life. The NSA still exists, still watches, still collects. The reforms that Snowden exposed were rewrapped and repackaged and veiled. And that is what there is to secrets. They don't die. They just go deeper. But something did change. We changed. We know now. We can't unknow. And maybe that's enough. Maybe that's everything. One man, one laptop, one impossible choice. Lipset, world, and ever different.